I want to speak to you about markets, which I know is something that you and the Mayor do care about, so street markets, not economic markets, just to be clear. But you didn't mention them in your introduction, so I just did want to kind of draw our attention to how kind of hugely socially and culturally important our street markets are. One, for providing kind of low-cost items, but also just culturally important things for people across the city. But what's come to my attention more recently is around kind of private developers and landlords who are the custodians of some of these spaces and these buildings. So sometimes their priorities and their interests don't align with those of the community, and they are obviously looking after these really, really important spaces. So I just wondered if that's something that you're concerned about, and whether you see that as an issue in the future, and whether that risks losing some of these important spaces.
Yes. Just to expand on that, as you may know, we got involved in Stratford, the Stratford Market, Stratford Village Market, where a landowner was behaving absolutely despicably. And as a former landlord, you know, I know how you do things. I know what people might be tempted to do and shouldn't. And in that case, and I won't go on about it, but frankly exploitative and wrong, the way they're behaving. But we managed, through working with the local council, to put some money aside to be able to get the council in a space where it could take on the market, saving 60 stalls, over 100 jobs. It's absolutely thriving. And the stupid thing is, it was profitable. It was always profitable. The landlord was just, reaping the money and being incredibly lazy, and then shut it down for no good reason. And they've done it in other places around the country as well. Bad people. However, there are lots of reasons why people may have concerns about markets operating their space. We are pro-market. It's a really good way for people to start a business because it's a low barrier to entry.
Yep.
There's some phenomenal stuff going on in our markets across the city. We've done some...
I'm just going to pick you up on this Stratford bit because it's relevant to what I wanted to raise. I don't know if you're aware of what's happening on Ridley Road at the moment, to the shopping village, which is a historically really important part of the market. So the market is an ecosystem between the shops that operate there, that's got one landlord, the stalls that are managed by the council, and then a private developer owns the shopping village, which has got stalls in the bottom. They tried to evict them in 2018. The community fought back. The council said it would take on the lease in 2022. They've literally been subjected to building works ever since. It's never been materialised. And 2 weeks ago, they were served with end of tenancy, no renewals on their leases, so we'll have to leave at the end of March, which is devastating to them and their businesses and their customers. They've been promised year after year that this was going to get better and better, and it absolutely hasn't. There's a really damaging narrative from the developer about criminality. They've kind of tarnished everyone with the same brush. It's really damaging to the traders as well as the market, and it's them not taking this is a private company who haven't taken ownership for redeveloping the building, and it's just devastating for the local community. It sounds like you've had experience of this before, and I'd absolutely love for you to speak to the traders, get involved, and try and see if we can save the space.
Let's go.
Yes, that's the spirit.
I'll give another positive example. We had quite a row between the tenants of the market in Seven Sisters, which was owned by Places for London, in a building which unfortunately was never designed to be a market and is effectively in danger of falling down at any moment. And we've had to go in and do some very basic things to stop it from falling down. But we created a whole new market there, which is particularly got a South American flavour, lots of Colombian things. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant, doing really well.
And the community really fought for that, and it did take 20 years. We don't want to we need this to kind of be saved now. But
the principles are right. And like I said, it is a lot of Marks and Spencer's famously stock at our market stall. This is where our next, cutting edge, exciting, innovative retailer is going to be. It's where a lot of our people from different communities, from the South Asian community, from the Chinese community, from the South American community, which is growing really rapidly.
Ridley Road is predominantly black traders, and there's many markets where they talk about the racialised displacement and the impact of gentrification on our markets. But I'm out of time. But let's keep talking and
I'm very
happy
to come and look at it.
Thank you.